Disclosure is whenever you tell someone about your disability. This conversation might make you nervous, and you might have concerns or questions about disclosing your disability to an employer. It's important to remember that disclosure is a personal choice. You are the one who decides if, when, and how you tell people about your disability. Disclosure is not one size fits all. It looks different for every person and their individual circumstances. In this video, we'll answer some questions you might have about disclosure. Should I disclose my disability? The choice to disclose is yours. However, self-reflection can be helpful when making your decision. When deciding whether or not to disclose your disability, think about how your disability affects your ability to work. Ask yourself questions like, is your disability visible? Will your disability affect your ability to perform in an interview and do the essential elements of the job? Will you need accommodations on the job in order to be successful and safe? Are you prepared to explain your disability if your employer doesn't understand it? What do you know about this employer's policies and experiences regarding people with disabilities? Will disclosing your disability help you reach your goal of getting work? When should I disclose? There are many possible times to disclose your disability, so we'll go through some options. There are pros and cons to each option, so it's up to you to decide what's right for you. One option is to disclose on a resume, cover letter, or job application. This would allow you to be considered for employment equity programs, but the potential employer might make inappropriate assumptions, and you wouldn't have the opportunity to explain your needs. You could also choose to disclose before an interview. If you need an accommodation, this approach lets both you and the employer be better prepared for the interview. However, the employer may make inappropriate assumptions that impact their decision to hire you. Another option is to disclose during an interview. This would let you address disability concerns directly and talk about your skills, but the employer might focus on your disability rather than whether you can do the job. Plus, you'd have to be able to advocate for yourself at an already stressful time, a job interview. Another possible time to disclose is at the time of the job offer. It gives you the chance to discuss your accommodation needs and lets the employer determine if there are any health and safety issues to figure out. The downside is that the employer may react poorly or feel you should have told them before the hiring decision was made, and they may withdraw the job offer if your accommodation needs seem challenging. You could also choose to disclose after you start work. It allows you to prove your capabilities and gives you a chance to find allies among your coworkers, but it might make you worried that people will treat you differently or attribute any difficulty you have to your disability. You might choose to disclose only after a problem occurs at work. This way, you will have already proven yourself on the job and have a better understanding of company policies and practices. However, you may have performance issues, and you might damage your work relationships. Of course, as we talked about earlier, you may choose not to disclose at all, in which case you will not have to explain your disability, and your employer and coworkers won't automatically assume work-related issues are associated with your disability. The downside is they won't become more aware or educated about the value of working with persons with disabilities. So as you can see, there are advantages and disadvantages for every option, so you have to figure out what's right for you. Hopefully this video will help you decide for yourself if you disclose and when you should do so. You can also watch our video on how to disclose for help planning your disclosure conversation.